Good morning, Cullman, and thank you for tuning in to Cullman Today. I'm your host, Dustin Isom, and today is Friday, October 25th. Coming up on Cullman Today, we discuss the upcoming vote on a proposed medical cannabis tax in Cullman County, celebrate 6 local veterans inducted into the Cullman Veterans Hall of Fame, and highlight the Cullman County School's second annual Student Expo featuring motivational speaker Tony Hoffman. All this plus sports, weather, and more, but for now, let's dive into the top stories happening in Cullman today. Cullman County residents will head to the polls on Tuesday, November 5th, to vote on a local amendment that would add a 15% tax to medical cannabis products sold in the county. Currently, there's a 9% tax on retail sales and medical cannabis businesses. If approved, 2/3 of the additional tax revenue would go to the Cullman County District Attorney's Office for personnel needs, while the remaining 1/3 would be allocated by the legislative delegation for mental health initiatives. Cullman County District Attorney Champ Crocker says the legalization of medical cannabis in Alabama is new, and the potential revenue for this measure is unknown, but the funds would help address staffing shortages in his office. He said, "We need more prosecutors because we have the same number we had 20 years ago, but a lot more cases to process." State Representative Corey Harbison of Good Hope, who sponsored the bill allowing the vote, encourages residents to consider how the funds will be used and vote accordingly. He said, "I have always said I'm for allowing the citizens to have as much of a say as possible in the process." Chris Van Dyke, COO of Wellstone Incorporated, said of the potential funding, "No one has any estimates of what it will generate. Wellstone is not guaranteed anything because it is at the discretion of the delegation. No one has made any plans, but there are needs to be met, such as more residential care for people with mental illness." Van Dyke said that no one from the legislative delegation has spoken to him yet about the funding or possible uses, though he had talked with Crocker. A town hall meeting to discuss Local Amendment 1 is scheduled for Tuesday, October 29th at 2 p.m. at Wallace State Community College's James C. Bailey Center Auditorium. District Attorney Champ Crocker, Wellstone Chief Operating Officer Chris Van Dyke, and Cullman County Sheriff's Office Victim Services Captain Ed Potter will lead the discussion. For more information, residents are encouraged to attend the town hall meeting or reach out to their local representatives. Meanwhile, 6 distinguished veterans were recently honored at a special ceremony as they were inducted into the Cullman Veterans Hall of Fame. The event celebrated their bravery, courage, and lifetime of selfless service both in the military and within the Cullman County community. The ceremony began with an invocation from Veterans of Foreign Wars Chaplain Gary Rogers, followed by the posting of the colors by Cullman JROTC Color Guard, led by Cadet First Lieutenant Zoe Hembry. Renee Crow then delivered a powerful rendition of the national anthem. Colonel Don Fallon presided over the ceremony, sharing heartfelt biographies of each inductee and highlighting their military achievements and ongoing community contributions. The 6 inductees are Retired Lieutenant Colonel Julian R. Campbell, James T. Watts, Jr., Clarence E. Benefield, Retired Staff Sergeant Hollis W. Baggett, Van T. Hutchins, Jr., and Richard L. Lieberger. Each honoree received a medallion, a distinctive name tag, and a personalized plaque, which will be displayed at the Cullman County Courthouse for the next year. Commemorative brick pavers to be placed at Veterans Park at Sportsman Lake were also presented to create a lasting legacy. The Cullman Veterans Hall of Fame is organized by local chapters of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, and the Disabled American Veterans, in partnership with the Cullman County Commission and municipalities throughout the county. For more information on the Cullman Veterans Hall of Fame, contact Colonel Don Fallon at 910-308-4197 or email donald.fallon@gmail.com. Cullman County Schools gathered all of its 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students for the second annual Student Expo on Wednesday at Temple Baptist Church. The event aimed to motivate and inspire students with messages from guest speakers and community leaders. Superintendent Dr. Shane Barnett opened the expo by expressing the school's commitment to its students. He said, "Today is all about pouring into you guys, and we want you to know how much you are loved. We want to help you be successful and build you up. That's what today is all about." Students also heard from Cullman County Sheriff's Office investigator Ryan Fortenberry, who spoke about the modern dangers that they could face on social media. The keynote speaker was motivational speaker Tony Hoffman, a former BMX professional and recovered addict who shared his journey of overcoming addiction and adversity. Hoffman encouraged students to learn from his experiences, saying, "I don't know everything, but I do know this. Every single one of you, including the adults in the room, you've got to go through something." Continuing, he said, "If you just listen while I tell my story, each and every one of you is going to get a tool from it." Hoffman's message offered valuable life lessons, aiming to equip students with tools to navigate challenges they may encounter. For more information about Tony Hoffman's story and work, visit TonyHoffmanSpeaking.com. That's it for today's top stories. After a short break, we'll dive into the world of sports.
What's in the magazine? October's peeking in. Oktoberfest in Cullman, let the fun begin. Heroes in our town, business all around. Recipes for sharing, joy everywhere found. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears. Community so bright, polka through the night. Sports spotlight today, kids come out to play. Fields and courts are buzzing in the autumn sway. Germans came to stay, crafts and brews on display. Cullman's heart is glowing in the polka way. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears. Community so bright, polka through the night.
Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to find out what's going on in the world of sports. In today's sports segment, let's take a look at how several Alabama standouts performed in Week 7 of the NFL season. The tailbacks showed out last week with 5 former Crimson Tide rushers leading their respective teams to wins. Jahmyr Gibbs played a big role in Detroit's 31-29 win over the Minnesota Vikings. Gibbs totaled 15 carries for a season-high 116 yards and a pair of touchdowns. He added 4 catches for yards as well. Najee Harris surpassed the 100-yard mark on the ground for the second straight week against the New York Jets defense. Harris finished the night with 102 yards and a touchdown on 21 carries in the Pittsburgh Steelers' 37-15 rout of the Jets. Josh Jacobs and Brian Robinson Jr. posted similar efforts on Sunday, both resulting in wins for their respective teams. Jacobs posted 76 yards on 12 carries, while also adding 16 yards and a touchdown on 5 catches in the Green Bay Packers' 24-22 win over Houston. For Washington, Robinson carried the ball 12 times for 71 yards and 1 score in the Commanders' 40-7 rout of the Carolina Panthers. Rounding out the running back performances, Baltimore's Derrick Henry on Monday Night Football racked up 169 yards on 15 carries while adding a 13-yard receiving touchdown. Henry added his league-leading totals for rushing attempts, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, yards per carry, and rushing yards per game after his latest performance. Fellow Ravens Marlon Humphrey and Eddie Jackson led the defensive efforts by former Tide standouts. Humphrey recorded 2 tackles, a pair of pass breakups, and 2 interceptions, posting 2 interceptions in a game for the first time in his career. Jackson finished with 8 tackles in the win. Xavier McKinney continued to shine in his first year, with the Packers recording 6 tackles and a sack in Green Bay's win. In Detroit's win, Brian Branch finished with 4 tackles, 2 passes defended, and an interception. Wrapping up the defensive unit was Levi Wallace in Denver, who posted 8 tackles in the Broncos' 33-10 win over the Saints. That covers sports for today, but make sure to check with the Cullman Tribune each day for the latest in sports coverage from across the area. We'll be back right after this message. Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. The Cullman Farm City Committee has hung vibrant posters at the Cullman County Courthouse, showcasing the artistic talents of local students from kindergarten through 6th grade. These posters celebrate this year's theme, Cullman County Counts on Farmers, highlighting the essential role farmers play in the community's economy, culture, and daily life. Students competed for first, second, and third place prizes in their respective categories. New this year, a special award will be presented to recognize outstanding artistic contributions. The annual Farm City Banquet is set for November 21st from 5 until 7:15 p.m. at Loft 212. The event honors the connection between urban and rural communities and will feature the poster contest winners. Tickets are available at givebutter.com/farm-city24 or any Cullman Citizens Bank and Trust branch. The Cullman Police Department is hosting its annual Cops and Candy Trunk or Treat event next Tuesday, October 29th from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Cullman Police Department headquarters. Families are invited to enjoy a fun-filled evening featuring police cars, fire trucks, and even the department's helicopter. Plus, Cullman Parks Recreation and Sports Tourism will be showing the movie Coco. Please note that 2nd Avenue in front of the police department will be closed starting at 5 p.m. for event preparations, and the Cullman Skate Depot will be shut down from 5 until 8 p.m. that evening. The Cullman County Emergency Management Agency is offering guidance to parents and guardians to ensure a fun and safe Halloween for all children this year. With festivities approaching, the EMA acknowledges that Halloween comes with unique challenges. They recommend the following safety tips. Costume choices. Encourage your children to choose costumes that are both creative and safe. Consider using non-toxic face paint instead of masks for better visibility, and ensure the costume fits properly to prevent tripping. Stay well lit. It's essential to ensure your children are easily visible while trick-or-treating. Incorporate reflective elements into their costumes and provide them with flashlights or glow sticks to light the way. Talk about boundaries. Have a conversation with your kids about the importance of sticking to familiar neighborhoods and homes while trick-or-treating. Encourage them to avoid unfamiliar areas and to always stay with their group or guardian while enjoying the day. Candy inspection. After the Halloween adventure, inspect your child's candy to ensure it's all sealed and safe. Discard any unwrapped or homemade treats. Emergency contact. Ensure your children have a way to contact you in case they get separated from the group. Program emergency numbers into their phones or provide them with a card listing contact information. While many enjoy traditional door-to-door Halloween activities, the EMA suggests attending local trunk-or-treat events or community-sponsored activities as safer alternatives for younger children. The United Way of Cullman County is gearing up for its annual Bingo Mania fundraiser, set for November 7th at the Cotton Creek Warehouse. The event promises a night of fun while supporting the organization's community initiatives. Tickets are $50 each and include 3 bingo cards per round for 15 rounds, giving attendees plenty of chances to win prizes. Guests will also enjoy delicious food catered by the Olive House. Plus, those who pick up their tickets before the event will be entered for a chance to win a beautiful pair of lab-grown diamond earrings, valued at $250 and sponsored by Jacqueline Schindel with the Better Business Bureau of North Alabama. Premier Bank of the South, a Tier 1 Business Alliance member, is the presenting sponsor for the evening, and United Way board member David Wiggins will serve as the MC. For tickets, contact the United Way of Cullman County on Facebook or call 256-739-2948. Don't miss this opportunity to have fun and support a great cause. That's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituary. I'll be right back after this message. Welcome back. let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Nova Gail Roberts, 85 of Battleground, passed away on Wednesday, October 23rd at her residence, surrounded by her loving family. Funeral service for Ms. Roberts will be Friday, October 25th at 2 p.m. at Cullman Funeral Home Chapel. Visitation will be held from noon until 2 p.m. prior to the service. Interment will be held at Crossroads Cemetery in West Point. Funeral services for Nicole Marino, 40 of Bremen, will be at 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 26th at Hansville Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will follow the service at Fairview West Cemetery. Visitation will be Friday, October 25th from 6 until 9 p.m. at Hansville Funeral Home. That finishes up obituaries for today. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now, let's take a look at the weekend weather forecast. Today, enjoy sunny skies with a high of around 84. Tonight will be mostly clear with lows dipping to around 55. Tomorrow brings more sunshine with a high near 80. Tomorrow night, expect mostly clear skies with a low of around 51. On Sunday, we'll see more sunny skies with a high near 76. Sunday night will be mostly clear, cooling down to around 52. That concludes another edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back bright and early Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. But for now, I'm Dustin Iceland with Cullman Today, wishing you a fantastic Friday, Cullman.